But the culture in the summer in Saint-Tropez is like, I can't even find words for it. It is...
You mean like all the stores close from noon to 4 and everybody has a 2-hour lunch and then goes home and takes a nap?
Yeah, I mean that, and the $100 million yachts that are sitting in the port, people partying nonstop. Right. I mean, it is a place of excess, indulgence, wealth, a display like I have never ever seen. So it's very interesting to me that you chose to live in that environment. And I'm just sort of, my first question is that just the tourist side of it that you stay away from, or do you find yourself on the yachts as well?
Well, I mean, we do from time to time, but it actually it's the touristy side of things. And we actually moved to Toulon, which is a different city. We're a couple of hours away now from Saint-Tropez.
Okay.
Because I wanted a place where the kids could walk at night. I wanted a place where they didn't have the chauffeurs and the yachts and the helicopters picking people up and dropping them off at the airport. I wanted normal.
Yeah, you're not exaggerating. This is exactly what that's like. Let's take the helicopter to the boat.
Exactly.
Like, it's really like that.
There's a company. I can remember one time when we were with some friends on their boat a couple of summers ago, and we'd parked in the harbor, and there was this yacht next to us, and the kids were saying goodbye to their dad. I mean, it was very obvious, and the girlfriend, the very, very elegant, very sexy lady, was standing in the background, and the kids gave a hug to a couple of the stewards or the crew on the boat. And then the car pulled up, the 2 security guards got out, walked up to the boat, took the kids, got them in the car, and it was the security that works for one of the helicopter companies. So they were taking the kids to the helicopter, which would probably take them to the private jet. And it's not unusual for that kind of lifestyle over here.
So why France? Out of all the places in the world, why France?
When I was 14 and in 9th grade, I discovered that the French class got to go to Paris when in 10th grade or 11th grade, they got to do a summer trip. And I don't know, I have always felt at home in my skin about France. It's just always been where I've wanted to live. And so I worked from the 9th grade, I worked for a whole summer so that I could pay for that trip, so that I could go with the 10th grade class. And at the last minute, my dad decided that, oh no, I wasn't going. I was a girl and there were going to be boys and there was just no way. And I can remember, I mean, I bought a car with the money instead. That was my little rebellion. But I can remember telling him, someday I'm going to live in France. And it just was always what I wanted to do. And so it took me longer than I thought it was going to, but
it happened. And you never and I think this is what's so important, you never let go of the dream.
Exactly.
You knew it was there and you created it. Look, hindsight's always 20/20. If you knew what you knew now, you would have done it a lot quicker. But the bottom line is that it happens. So what is it actually like living there? Is it what you thought it would be? Is it better? Is it worse?
Much better.
It's better.
We have 309 days of sunshine. The temperature, even here when it's very, very, very cold and you'll see people in their ski hats and their gloves and their thick coats and their boots, think about springtime in the Rockies. I mean, it very seldom gets below 50s over here. We use the car only on weekends, and not even every weekend. It just depends if we're going to go somewhere further than what the train can take us or than what we want to walk. We have an open air market. This is one of the reasons that I love Toulon. It's open. It's a lot of markets here, a lot of villages, they'll have an open air fruit and vegetable market once a week or maybe twice a week. Ours is every day except Sunday and Monday. And if you want, everything is fresh. It's bio. I mean, there's no preservatives. There's none of the pesticides or things. Mm-hmm. So, you can get almost any kind of fresh fruit and vegetable all year long. If I want meat, I go to the butcher. and he cuts it for me in front of me, and I can see exactly what I'm getting. If I want fish, I go to the fishmongers, and it's fish that's been caught in the boat that day and brought over in the morning. I go to the bakery if I want a cake, or if I want homemade bread, or I'm incredibly spoiled that way, I admit. People here, we work about 35 hours a week. Sometimes I work a little less than that. People get 6 weeks of paid vacation. If you're a mom, you get 4 months of paid maternity leave, and then your job is guaranteed to be held for you when you come back. Right now, we take about 4.5 months of vacation a year. But I really, my goal is by 2012, I'd like to be able to do 6 months vacation.
So those perks that you just described, is that for the average French citizen? The question is, I guess, do you also get those perks being an American?
Yes, you can buy insurance over here. I mean, there's everybody is covered by what they call Social Security. And it doesn't pay everything. In some cases, it pays 50, sometimes 70%. But you can buy extra insurance. And let's see, mine is for the boys and I have to tell you, it covers full medical, full dental, eye care. I think they just raised it. I think I'm paying €60 a month now.
If you want to learn how Rob and Kim leverage technology to create the income, time, and freedom to regularly travel from one jet-set destination to the other using their proven system, you can claim your risk-free trial membership to Jet Set Money by going to getjetsetmoney.com. Here's Rob.
So you are an American citizen who is buying Social Security, which covers all of those things, for about €60.
Right.
Now, if you didn't purchase that, would you be covered or would you not be?
It would depend on the situation. You're always covered in an emergency, and you're covered for some things. Now, it's something I got to tell you. To go to a doctor here costs about €20. That's to visit your regular GP.
Is that as a French citizen, American, or it doesn't matter?
That's anybody.
Anybody, okay.
Also, doctors here make house calls.
Yeah, I'm really super familiar with the doctor side of things. That we can spend 2 hours on that. I am absolutely fascinated with the French healthcare system, how they have set it up with doctors that are patrolling the streets and have everything that they need to handle it inside of their house. Michael Moore did a great movie on that called Sicko.
Right, I haven't seen that yet, but
you need to, because it goes through in a very tongue-in-cheek way all of the healthcare systems around the world, France being highlighted, and it was just I could not believe how great the system is.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It really, really is. And I have a son, my youngest son has a chronic disease, a chronic illness. And so healthcare was, when I was looking at really where do we want to live and what do we want to do, healthcare was one of the issues that I had to look at when I was really thinking about my lifestyle and what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And France, of course, has the best. I mean,
and so you found out that the best is really the best, and you have no complaints. You know, you hear people saying, well, yeah, but you have to wait forever to get an MRI, or you can't get in to see a doctor. That's not your experience.
No. And, maybe if you live in Paris, or maybe if you're in a tiny little village where you have to travel to go get an MRI. But down here on the French Riviera, I don't think I've ever waited more than 3 days if we've needed something. Oh, I got to tell you this one too. Mm-hmm. One of the times we put my son in the hospital, and they were feeding him through an IV, and I was used to this was when we first got here, and I was used to the U.S. way of they would put him in, pump him full of drugs, and as soon as possible, get him out the door. And so we had been in the hospital for 7 days, and I said to the doctor, well, so, don't you want us to, get out of here? Doesn't somebody else need the bed? When are you going to be releasing us? And he looked at me like I was crazy, and he said, we'll release Tony when he's ready to be released.
What a concept. Can you imagine? You mean you didn't have to have the baby in the parking lot so you can go home?
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
It is. It's amazing. And I highly recommend France if you because we're so close to everything. I can be in Paris. By the train, I can be in Paris in 3.5 hours, but it's a short drive. We can go have dinner in Italy. anytime we want to.